everyone, I'm Maryssa. Welcome to my Storytime show. In this episode, we're reading one of Aesop's fables. Have you heard the tale of the boy who cried wolf? Peter's job is to protect the village's sheep from dangerous wolves. He has no problem doing his job until he starts to cause some trouble. There once was a little village in a little valley, surrounded by hills and woods. Every spring, the villagers sent their flocks of sheep into the hills. The sheep grew fat and strong on the thick green grass. Every fall, the villagers brought the sheep back to the valley. They sold their thick, soft wool for food. The sheep meant everything to the villagers. Every year, the villagers chose a young boy to watch the sheep all summer. One year, they chose a boy named Peter. Peter was active and strong. "This job is not hard, but it is very important," said the village mayor. "Wolves roam the woods around these hills. If they get to the sheep, we will lose everything." Peter nodded solemnly. "If you spot a wolf, shout as loud as you can," said the mayor. "The whole village will rush to your aid with arrows and hammers and torches. We'll chase the wolves away." "You can trust me," said Peter. He packed his satchel and his sleeping roll and led the flock of sheep into the hills. The hills were peaceful and lovely. Peter spent his time watching the sheep, finding shapes in the clouds, and playing his little flute. He never saw so much as a single hair of a wolf's tail. After 1 month, Peter was going crazy with boredom. The mayor's words ran through his mind. "The whole village will rush to your aid with arrows and hammers and torches." Wouldn't that be a sight? Peter climbed a nearby tree. Everything below was silent and peaceful. The hills, the sheep, and the village were as still as a painting. "Wolf!" Peter screamed. "Wolf! Wolf!" In a flash, everything changed. People poured from the village like ants from a nest. They searched everywhere for the wolf, waving their arrows and hammers and torches. The sheep ran in frightened circles. One sound rose above the noise. Peter laughed and laughed from his tree. The villagers were furious. "That was not funny," shouted the mayor, his face red and shining. "We thought the flock was in real danger." Peter finally managed to hold a serious face. "I'll never do it again, I promise," he said. At the time, he meant it. But as the villagers muttered their way back home, Peter's smile crept back. Boy, that was fun. For a long time, Peter did his duty. He watched the sheep, threw stones into a hollow stump, and made up songs. But his busy mind was desperate for some entertainment. One day, the weather was dull. The whole world felt like a Sunday nap. Peter couldn't resist. "Wolf! Wolf! There's a wolf coming for the sheep!" he screamed. In a moment, the groggy village awoke. People dashed up the hills, scattering the sheep and waving their pitchforks at imaginary wolves. Again, they heard the sound of Peter's howling laughter. This time, the mayor's anger was quiet and stern. "I can see you aren't taking this seriously. We're cutting your pay in half." Peter's laugh stopped short. He argued loudly. "It was just a little prank. Look, the sheep are safe." But the mayor was firm, and the villagers all agreed with him. They stomped their way back to the village. Peter was regretful. This time, he really would never do it again. The days went back to their sleepy routine. Peter watched the sheep, mended his clothes, and wrote silly poems. One quiet, misty morning, his daydreaming was cut short by the yelp of a ram. Peter saw dark, quick shapes racing back and forth among the flock. The sheep scattered and cried. Something was terribly wrong. "Wolf!" screamed Peter. "Wolf! Wolf! Wolves! A dozen of them! It's true! It's true this time! They've got the lambs! Oh, they've got the ewes! Help me, please!" Peter screamed and cried along with the sheep. The village remained silent. He thought he saw a door open, or a curtain part, but then close again. The villagers didn't believe him. The wolves were savage. Peter had to flee up a tree for his own safety. His heart twisted as he watched the wolves carry away almost every sheep. When it was over, Peter climbed down, feeling sick. He found one shivering little lamb hiding in a hollow. She was all that was left of his flock. He staggered down to the village with the lamb in his arms, weeping the whole way. "Wolves! Wolves took all our sheep! Why didn't anyone come and help me?" As the mist parted, the villagers came out of their homes and saw what had happened. They too cried for their sheep. They wept for the hunger they knew would come without wool to sell. The mayor's face was pale and grave. "This is a terrible lesson for all of us, but especially for you, Peter," he said. "I hope you will remember this. No one will believe a liar, even if he is telling the truth." Would you have believed Peter after he cried wolf the last time? Peter caused a lot of trouble for his village. He lied about something dangerous and serious. No one could trust him anymore. Once he finally told the truth, it was too late and something horrible happened. If someone believes in you, don't break their trust. Be honest and truthful. If you want to hear more fun stories, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.